Well, it's Thursday night, and it's not terribly late, but it is the end of the day for the most part. It has been a rainy, dreary, windy, cold and getting colder kind of day. Just for me, just been kind of a comedy of errors, no umbrella when I needed one, and all these other things. Just one of those days that's kind of exhausting. And I am at home happily, but there was a big parade tonight that was canceled because of the weather, and a lot of people are very disappointed. And but more importantly, I think in my world is that what's on my mind is trauma. Unfortunately, we had what I would consider a community trauma happen yesterday, last night for another big parade. There was a woman who was killed in an accident that was just one of those really freak accidents that happen under circumstances that are a little bit unclear, but essentially she was killed underneath a float when she got trapped between a moving float and another float. Anyway, she was killed in a public and horrific fashion in front of a bunch of children and families and individuals who were celebrating, again, what was kind of a happy occasion here in the city. And there's been a lot of talk in the therapeutic community about how we can support the people who have witnessed this incident, some of whom are people I know very well, actually. One of those people intervened to try to help, but there was just really nothing that could be done for this woman who died quickly on the scene. So, having worked with people who have trauma histories, I know full well, and those of us in the therapeutic community all know full well what can come from witnessing such a horrific event. And so that's been heavy on my mind today. It's just kind of the idea of community trauma and what to do to support those people who inadvertently were unfortunately exposed to trauma. So, and in my office, I had a therapy client who's had a lifetime of trauma off and on, who is super resilient and is doing well, but is definitely affected by her trauma. I've been affected by my own trauma, both distant in my past and not so distant. And so, we know that our bodies keep, well, there's actually a book called The Body Keeps the Score, which is a compilation of all kinds of trauma research. It's kind of a textbook, if you will, on that, and is a really great springboard for how effective mind-body work can be for people with a history of trauma. So in any case, it's really been heavy on my mind. I've felt it in my body today. Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to exercise. I was going to try to go for a walk or a run tonight, but the rain is still coming. It's just not happening. But that's what's heavy on my mind. Trauma. My immigration practice, I hear stories that go on for hours about people's histories of trauma. It's something that I think that many of us in this field are vulnerable to secondary trauma, which is when something affects you indirectly. So anyway, it's been heavy on my mind today and a real damper on things, and has me kind of giving those safety talks to my kids and talking about how life can change so fast. Anyway, so that's where my thoughts are, and I'm definitely feeling kind of pensive, I guess, about that. So there it is. But I have a fairly unscripted day tomorrow, so I'm just going to try to kind of throw myself into being productive, and that will help. I think I'm going to add a few, this in the next 3 or 4 videos, I'm going to do several different techniques to help with trauma. I might even do a couple of videos separately, just meditations or practices individually, as I keep talking about doing, because I think that's just kind of where my mind is. And in fact, tonight I am simply going to do a breathing exercise and use the word calm. Anytime somebody has experienced a trauma, in addition to allowing them to process it with words and talk about their feelings in a safe space, it is one of the, again, foundational things to help people is to just allow them to connect with their body and give themselves a moment of peace, and kind of train their bodies to do that when they're really feeling worked up. And so what I'm going to do is just a very quick and very basic breathing exercise using the word calm, because that's what I feel that I need right now. It's just some calm. And that might mean calm in my mind, calm in my thoughts, might mean calm in my heart. I just think that's a word that's meaningful to me right now as I'm thinking about these things that are going on in my community right now. The song that I'm going to add to my playlist before I do this quick little breathing exercise is a song that's really special to me. It's very old. It's a song by Van Morrison called Into the Mystic. And as its name implies, it's a very mystical little song. I went through kind of a classic rock phase in my late teen years. And one of the favorite albums I had was one by Van Morrison, and this song was on it. And I joke around with people that this is a song I'd love to have played at my funeral. It is about crossing into the afterlife. It's all very symbolic in the lyrics, but it seems pretty clear that that's what it's about. And death and dying has always been something that's been existentialism, something that interests me. And so this song spoke to me from a young age. And it's always been meaningful to me. And just considering the kind of heaviness that's weighing on my heart right now, obviously there's death and trauma all over the world. There are people freezing to death in Syria right now as we speak, who through no fault of their own are dealing with conflict and displacement. So it's all relative. But all of these things are kind of weighing on me right now. So I'm just going to bring myself a sense of calm with this meditation. And I think tonight after this, I have boys over at my house right now. I'm probably just going to put on that old Van Morrison album and listen to this song, but I am going to add it to my playlist. But first, a quick calm meditation. And I think that even as I'm doing this, I'm hearing the boys in the background. So we'll see how this goes. But if you want to play along, I encourage you to close your eyes and just listen to my voice. The first thing I'm going to do is ground my feet on the floor and just feel my toes touching the ground and feel the floor supporting me. I'm also going to feel the chair underneath me supporting me as I reach for some calm through my breath. And so if you're doing this with me, I encourage you to do the same. What is supporting your body right now? Feel that support. Let your hands just rest in your lap or at your sides. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, that's fine. Just rest your gaze at the floor in front of you or at the table in front of you, whatever works. And just start to focus on your breath. Your shoulders back and just kind of open your chest a little bit. Allow yourself to just start to release that tension if you're carrying it. And just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. If you're feeling really tense and wound up, I encourage you to take a few really deep cleansing breaths and exhale forcefully like this. Just push that air out. And what you're going to do in this one little moment is just try to bring about a sense of calm. What does calm mean for you? Calm mind, calm breath, calm muscles. Maybe it's a sense of calm in your heart. I'm going to focus on that word as we breathe. I'd like you to say calm to yourself, or you can say it out loud if you're by yourself, but say the word calm as you inhale and the word calm as you exhale. Inhale, calm. Exhale, calm. Inhale, calm. Exhale, calm. And just sit and do this one thing for yourself as long as you want to. Inhale, calm. Exhale, calm. And as you sit and you say that word, just let your body relax and let go of some tension if you could feel it. But just focus on your breath and on the words calm, and see if by doing that you can bring just a little bit of whatever that might mean to you in that moment. And this is something you can do anytime you feel you need a little bit of calm.